And the one thing I'll tell you, our bodies are a machine and they are connected. They don't work in isolation, like my body works on its own and my mind works on its own and my spirit on its own. Like they work in tandem together. They support each other. So like in spirit, as you grow spiritually, automatically your mind and your body will change. Your spirit. So if your spirit is vibrating at a very high frequency and then you give it low vibration, what will happen? Sickness. And the headache is just a sign of something not working in your body. I'm trying to get your attention to do ABCD. Same thing. Listen to your body. How many times? Your intuition will guide you. Like, I'm going, say, we're in Lavington. I'm going to Westlands. And the first thing is, can I use the back route? And then I'm like, no, why would I use the back route? Now I start second guessing myself. No, this road. What happens?
You go and find horrible traffic or floods. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear viewers and listeners. Welcome back to yet another episode of Beauty Lies Beyond podcast with me, Miriam. We are joined in studio today by another returning champion. She was here almost a year ago, and I will allow her to introduce herself, and we are going to delve into holistic wellness today. Stay tuned. Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much for having me here today. So once again, I am Coach Pauline Sophia. It's a pleasure to be back here. Yes, after a year and more discussions on health, wellness, spirituality. It's always a pleasure to share because that's the journey of my life.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So please tell us about wellness. It's a very broad topic, so maybe you can crystallize it for us.
So generally, now wellness is basically just as the word. It's well. What does well mean?
Good.
To be fine. Like when everything is fine, that's well. And now when you put wellness, we're talking about an individual's wellness. How well are they? And an individual is in different parts. We have a mind, we have a body, and we have a spirit. So when we talk about wellness, it's synchronizing and aligning every aspect of our body to be well. Because guess what? If your mind is not well, then your body is not well. If your spirit is scattered all over the place, then you're not well. So your life is not well. So how do you align yourself to wellness? Because you have to work the three aspects of as a human being. The mind, body, and spirit have to be
In
well.
sync.
Yes, they have to be well for you to function in a well space and to function at your optimal. Yeah.
We've had, especially in the spiritual circles, about holistic, HOLISTIC, holistic wellness. Is that any different?
Holistic is basically, again, aligning every aspect of our being as a human being to be well and to function at its optimal. Because we're all here for a purpose. But how are we going to fulfill our purpose if one aspect of our being is not working, is not in the best of health? Be it spiritual health, physical health, mental health. It doesn't work. You will find you're thriving in one area, but you're struggling. So it is holistic in that you're putting every aspect of your being to be aligned with being well. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. What can you tell us a bit about why people fail either to be well, to practice holistic wellness, or why anyone would concentrate on one wellness and forget about another? Because especially now, mental wellness has been imepigwa. It's been sung and sung and sung.
Yes.
And so has maybe physical wellness, but there's also spiritual wellness, which is also something we've been trying to.
Yeah.
What is the disjoint? What's the cause of the disjointedness?
I think let's begin first at the genesis. You see, for you to be well, first you have to understand, who am I? And from when we come into this world, when we are born, even our parents, they don't know how to help us to understand about an aspect of you as, say, Miriam. me as Pauline. It is what they know they teach us. And what do they know? It's basically what society has given us. So when you begin to walk into the journey of wellness, it is where you begin to realize, as an individual, I, as Pauline Sophia, I have aspects of my life that nobody else knows. And I have to be able to connect with every aspect of my beingness as Pauline Sophia before I can begin to listen to the noises outward. That way, I will be able to know what's right for me, because what's right for me is not necessarily right for you. What's right for my mother is not necessarily. She'll only tell me what she thinks is right based on the template that society has given her. This is what you need to give a child. But just the same way, there's someone who can eat today ugali. Right now we eat with you ugali. You react to the ugali and me, I don't. Because again, I have to learn to listen to my body. And there's no language where we're taught from a very young age to listen to ourselves. So wellness begins you connecting with yourself as an individual, a unique individual like Pauline Sophia. What is Pauline Sophia from the inner telling me? Do I have tools to be able to hear Pauline? And to know what's right for Pauline, because Pauline is always speaking to me. Maybe it's a knee pain. That's Pauline trying to get my attention. But was I taught that that's a way of me listening to my body and knowing my body is telling me this position I'm seated, it's causing a pain? No. What do I immediately do? Society has told me immediately there's a pain in your body. What do? Pick a pain, killer, and just silence it. Not understanding that's a way my body communicates to me as Pauline. And I need to learn to listen to it. Because how many pills can I pop until it gets to a place of where it breaks? And that's what happens. It gets to a point of, because we have not been taught to have communication with ourselves, we end up in a hospital bed somewhere, collapsed, or a crisis. Our body falls apart. And that's the point you begin to understand and listen. Because when you're in a hospital bed, what happens? You have no choice but to listen. And that's when you lift your hands and say, okay, I'm tired. Please tell me something. And when you're asking for external help and that's spiritual help, what are you going to do? Listen. But are we usually listening? Because from a very young child, you're told by your mother when to eat, when to sleep. When to go to school. Your teacher tells you, this is break time, let's go for break. This is the time to eat. These are things which, as a common, like for me, my journey to get to wellness and transformation and my spiritual journey are the things I had to unlearn, to learn, to understand that every aspect of my life that was falling apart was as a result of me seeking answers externally. That I needed to break out of this seeking help from things that are out of me. I began to learn how to listen to Pauline.
What happened?
So the first ever aspect of my journey to wellness was actually, I think, by flukes, which was not by flukes. So my first ever pregnancy was an ectopic pregnancy. And I didn't even know I was even pregnant at the time because I was just engaged. So, and I worked in the airline then. So I happened to be on a flight, Amsterdam. So on our way back from Amsterdam, just as we enter the flight and we board the flight and the doors are closed. But even before I came from the hotel, I was feeling very uneasy and I couldn't tell. And at the time I was spotting, which I thought was my periods. So in that moment, I was like, okay, I guess my periods, I've never had painful periods. They were always peaceful, but this time I couldn't understand. It was really uncomfortable. Sometimes I'd actually feel lightheaded, but I knew at least I'm coming back home. So I'll get to see a doctor and know what's going on. So anyway, I push myself out of bed. I get ready for the flight and I get on through the flight. But even as the doors are closing, I'm just like, will I make 8 hours? Because the pain at a point was a sharp pain. And I was like, okay, I guess I will just push through it. So I mentioned to the person in charge of the flight, I'm not feeling very well, but I guess I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So the doors close and the flight takes off. And immediately the seatbelt sign comes out. I stand out, remove my seatbelt. and I collapsed.
Allah.
Later, I just saw darkness and I was on the floor. And now the pain was excruciating. At this point, they had to page on the flight if there's a doctor because they didn't know what's happening. And remember, I'm staff. So now at this point, they're paging. So they call, and of course, there's somehow, miraculously, there's always a doctor on the flight. So the doctor comes, there's like maybe 3 doctors in different fields. So they come, and now I'm lying on the floor. And I'm in so much pain. I'm groaning in pain. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And the pain was around my stomach area. I'm like, so they come and they're questioning me. They're like, what's going on? They ask me the usual questions, like, when did you get your last period? I said, I'm actually on my periods now. It's like, okay. So have you had any episodes? Are you diabetic? I said, no, none of those. So they're like, okay, they check my vitals. And then somehow we always have, in every flight, there's always a doctor's kit. So when they survey and they look at my pain, they're like, she cannot manage. At this point, even the captain is wondering whether he needs to land in the nearest airport, because if someone cannot make it, they cannot go. This is an emergency. So they said, okay, let's monitor her for just 30 minutes and we'll let you know. So they're in communication with the captain. So eventually, when they look at me, they say, you know what? Now there's always a painkiller, like a very strong painkiller. So they decided they're going to give me the painkiller. So they injected me the painkiller and that knocked me out. Knocked me out completely. So they gave me a seat in first class and I sat there. And then they kept on coming to check. But because I was knocked out for like maybe an hour or 2, so they were like, hey, we'll manage her. In case of anything, we'll keep communication to the captain. And at this point, they've paged Nairobi, so that when they land, there's an ambulance for me because they still don't know what the issue is. So eventually, I managed through the flight. But when the painkiller wears off, it's around it was supposed to take me for 7 hours. So it's towards an hour towards landing, the pain. I'm like, and they can't give me another painkiller. So we land in Nairobi and there's an ambulance, and the ambulance takes me straight to Nairobi Hospital. And in Nairobi Hospital, of course, they first do vitals. They're like, when periods, the same thing. I was like, no. So they do a scan. They say, okay, where's the pain? Then they go take me, and now they need a scan. But at the time, someone has to sign in case of anything. Now, me, I'm alone. I've come from a flight. We land at 6:30. My family is not there. My fiancé then was not there. He was going on a flight. He was in Mombasa. So the person who we came with, the staff from the flight, is the one who had to sign on my behalf. So, and then they call my parents. So they take me for the scan, the ultrasound scan, and they tell me, guess what? Your fallopian tube is ruptured because you had an ectopic pregnancy and we have to take you straight to theater because the pain is because of the internal bleeding. And they say it is just in the nick of time that you got here because people die.
What the hell?
Yes. So this was a wake-up call for me. And remember, I still have not gotten children, so my tube is gone. So they take me to theater because this is internal bleeding. And they do surgery, clear the place, the blood, whatever. And I leave the theater. And now they have to check my other tube because now, remember, I haven't conceived. Now I only have one tube. And they have to confirm if this other fallopian tube is okay. So the gyna who did the surgery, after 2 weeks, because I was in hospital for probably 5 days. So she gives me a week and then tells me to come back for review. So when I come back for review 2 weeks later, she tells me we need to also check your other tube. And then this is another painful procedure where they put a dye in your tube. And this dye is to check whether the tube is blocked. So when they do that, she tells me, unfortunately, your other tube is blocked. So if you ever want to have kids, we have to take you to surgery and unblock the tube. I was like, what? Sorry, I'm not doing this. No. She's like, you told me you're engaged. You want to have a family? I said, yes. So we need to do the surgery immediately. I told her, no, I'm not doing it. Now, it was a debate between her and my fiancé. And I told him, You guys are negotiating for who? I'm here. You can't decide what is
So
right.
you're
for me.
refusing on the basis of
I
faith?
just felt this is not right. Like, this is not something that I need to do. And I remember having a moment with God, and I said, God, if you really ever want me to have kids, I will have kids. But I'm not doing a surgery. I refuse.
So this is an example of you listening to
Your body.
Okay.
So I remember it was a push and pull. Even my parents were involved. And I said, no, I'm not. My body tells me otherwise, and I'm not going to do it. And of course, this caused friction between me and my fiancé. I said, guess what? If we're meant to have kids, we'll have kids. Years later, I think that was, I can't remember, because I think 2 years later is when we got married. And I got married, like, I remember in October, and my son was born June of the next year.
Nice. And now you have 3 kids.
And now I have
For
3
the
kids.
record.
So
Jesus.
when I look at that, and that was just me learning, nobody taught me, but I listened to myself. And since then, I'm one person. I don't say medicine is bad, but I know there's no expert on my body than me. Nobody can tell me what's right for me. I listen and I know what's right for me. So this is the thing I am talking about. From a very young age, we begin to train our children to learn to listen to themselves, because there is so much societal things that have been pushed down our throats and we have not questioned. At what point, ask yourself, Miriam, like, at what point does someone know, like, in the morning I wake up, I need to eat? Who decided I need to eat in the morning when I wake up? My body tells me when I need to eat. So when did someone prescribe that in the morning, when I wake up, I need to eat breakfast? Lunchtime, 1 o'clock is lunchtime. Who prescribed that?
There's a conspiracy theory that says it's people who consumerism is what brought this on.
Exactly. Like, for me today, I eat 1 meal in a day. And again, because that's what's right for me. And it has become a lifestyle. And nobody understands how do you survive a whole day, because my body is my body and I give my body what's right for me. I have learned to listen to my body, and I don't eat because someone rang a bell and decided in school, it's lunchtime, go for lunch. No, I eat because my body tells me, now I need something.
If we were to go with that theory, I'm wondering about kids now who now are in the system, because the system is still there, or just the rest of us who, let's say, you're working at 8 to 5, so lunchtime is 1 to 2, and I can't eat in between. You know what I mean? Like, this is how do we manage that? Okay,
so I'll give you an example, because I always tell people, for me, I give people and I teach people from what I have done. Like, my daughter, Neema, you can never tell her. And I remember at one time, I had this nanny, and she was like maybe 3 or 4. And for a whole week, the girl refused to eat. The only thing she would eat was melon. Melon throughout. And I remember the nanny is fasting. The father is fasting. I'm like, she's eating something else. That's what she wants. Is she sick? No. She wants melon. We give her melon. Today, that girl, and that's for me, that's why I keep saying, you remember even in the other episode, I talked about she began my spiritual journey. She is a very in tune child with her body. You don't tell her. It will be snowing outside. She'll be wearing a vest. My mother, who's her grandmother, is fasting. This child, whose child is this? You're not feeling cold. And I'm like, she knows her body. She's not feeling cold. Is she sick? No, she's not. She wears when she wants, because she's learned to listen to her body. At one time, and for her, because she also started my health journey, my wellness journey. Because when I was pregnant with her, she helped me change a lot of things in my life. My body just refused dairy, like completely. I just could not stand dairy. Remember, dairy is also not good. And for me, I had eczema my whole life. My 2 other children struggled with eczema, again, because of dairy. And I didn't even know. But through her, somehow my body began to speak to me, and I knew milk is not good. And my body rejected milk completely. For her, she's a child. I never ever gave her milk because she's a child. I only breastfed her and that's it. The only milk she had to take was in a cereal and that was it. But milk like this, she never ever took milk like that. And today, she is 14. Never been sick a day in her life. Why? Because from day one, she found me embracing wellness from my mind, body, and spirit. And of course, I pass the same to her. Now, she guides you on what's right for her. And this is, again, the same thing. We begin when we know better. We pass on better. It's not the same as my son, my older son, and my daughter, because even then I was also very unconscious about so many things. So then they've learned as they're older, from birth, like she got me already getting onto this holistic Ayurvedic life.
That is so profound. I love that. I am wondering about period pain. I don't know why it's on my mind. I guess it's because you talked about it. I've read somewhere that every pain that happens in our body also it's something you said has a cause.
Yes.
Like it's not random.
No.
So can you talk a bit about that?
So I'll talk about pain. Because I know pain is one thing we are taught about to fight. It's a bad thing. But guess what? Pain is a gift. Because pain, whether you like it or not, you will listen to your body. Pain is the only way that gets your attention. And unfortunately, the attention it gets people to do is they don't listen to it. They silence it.
Oh yeah, I will not have period pain because why? And I call that self-love, which is twisted.
That's debatable. Because
no, I know it's twisted.
Yes,
I don't cheat myself.
Because pain is the way your body begins to tell you you're neglecting it. Your inner spiritual self is trying to get you to pay attention. And if you're not in tune with it, it will fail aspects of your body. And it's because it wants you to change a certain aspect of your life. So the way you begin to know this is not working for you is through that pain. It's not to silence the pain. It is to be in that pain. Listen to the pain of how much more can I take? Let it break you. Because in that moment, everything that you need to know will show up.
Expound.
So, like, if I have, like, a knee pain, remember that's just a symptom. I will allow myself to listen to this and see where else does it spread. Because every organ in our body, when it begins to malfunction, it's our spirit trying to tell us something about this. You're neglecting this aspect of your life. Maybe your relationship is not working for you. You've been forcing it. Because organs speak to us. Like, it's spiritual. Everything aspect in our body, like every pain, is a way to get us to listen to our spiritual, our soul, our spirit. And it's trying to guide us. So when you silence your body, say, for example, someone who's had, like, they've been having a pain on the back, and every time you swallow a pill, sometimes it's so excruciating and you even double down. And you can see now, even with like painkillers, they even have advanced, they have plus, like it's good.
Yeah.
Because the more you don't listen, the more you depend on external help. Like it will be what the external world tells you. It's what? Okay, here, prescribe you. Have you sorted the issue? No, it will not. So you keep listening, you keep taking the painkillers until a point of where your spirit tells you, I have tried to give you warning. And usually it starts, warning number one, it's tolerable. A pain that's tolerable. Number two, a bit more. The third one, it will crush you down to a hospital bed. And in that moment, you have no choice. You have to pay attention. It could be a cancer at this point. This cancer, what do you have to do? You have to change your lifestyle. Because all these things were trying to get you to change your lifestyle. Because something is not working and you're not listening. I've been trying to tell you, you take this soda is not good for you. And every time you take it, you're making a certain aspect of my body not to function right. But how else will I get you to hear me? I'm trying to tell you because only I know what I'm feeling internally, not the doctor. Only I, Pauline, in my cell there, know what this sugar that you're giving me is doing to me, these cakes that you're eating, these chips that you're eating every day. there's no other way I can tell you. It's just so that person, like, I will crush that aspect of you so that you pay attention and give you a sign that this is not working for me. Please, can you change? Give me something better and I can help you in whatever you're doing. It's always a sign. So you're taking the painkiller, it's not going to work because then you've neglected your GPS, because that is your inner GPS trying to get your attention to know we're on the wrong path. We need to go. We are going northwest. No, we're supposed to be going south. Why are we going south? Why are you forcing me to go northeast and we're supposed to be going south?
I'm wondering, I'm just thinking again of I'm thinking, let me just choose myself because I have myself and I have someone else in mind myself, I have the period pain thing.
Yes.
And I'm thinking when I started getting my period, I think in Form 3, it was painful from the beginning. And now I've traced it all the way to like milk products kill me. Like those things are the worst. But now I'm wondering what about the spiritual aspect? Like, how is that spirit? Like that's physical. That's something I can work on. But is there does a pain always, like you mentioned, it carries a spiritual significance? I'm now wondering how to be able to understand what maybe spiritually it might be trying to tell me.
So
how do you know?
I think for me, the one thing I'll tell you, even from all that I've studied, I've done Ayurveda and I've done various aspects of frequency therapy. I've done various aspects of like wellness. And the one thing I'll tell you, our bodies are a machine and they are connected. They don't work in isolation. Like my body works on its own and my mind works on its own and my spirit on its own. Like they work in tandem together. They support each other. So like in spirit, as you grow spiritually, automatically your mind and your body will change. Why? And I'm talking about not just following lifestyle of spiritual, like really immersing yourself and following the spiritual path, like really wanting that for yourself. Like, I want to love God. I want to know God. And I'm immersed in it and I'm doing everything right. Automatically, my body will get out of a certain lifestyle. Now, like for me, when I began my spiritual journey, I remember that was, again, with my daughter. You see, first thing, milk, just my body could not stand it. And it's because I was a different person. My mind, my body were not working together. So these were not aligning to help my body function in the spiritual way that we were going. And then after a few months, like a year after she was born, now animal products were no longer working for me. Initially, even before, when I was pregnant with her, I couldn't stand red meat. My body just could not stand it. So I had stopped and I was only on white meat. That was chicken and fish. But a year later, I couldn't even stand that. My body just, and I remember because I was doing a Mount Kenya hike after I gave birth to her. And at that point, these people were like, Pauline, unfortunately, I know you're vegetarian, but you have to eat a lot of protein because of the this is a very rigorous exercise because it's 5 days you're hiking. You have to so they give me a lot of eggs and fish. Like every meal had an egg or a fish. And my body was not used to it. It was already trying to eliminate this. And I remember after those 5 days, and remember, this is a hike, so you're supposed to be healthy, I came back. My body just had hives like everywhere. I was itching everywhere. And I just knew it's done. Like, I can't. And that was the end of any animal product in my body. And I remember even there's a journey. Now, when we began our spiritual journey and we were doing all these practices, meditation, so people were vegetarian. But for me, I was vegan because, and everywhere we went, like a retreat, I'd have to tell them. And they're like, but you can eat me. I mean, soup, like this food. We didn't we'll just have you the soup from the, I'm like, you guys don't get it. Like, it's been prepared with animal in it. It's not a matter of me eating the meat. It's anything that has come from that animal. The fact that it was the meat, it's going to affect my body because you rise to a certain frequency. And food, remember, is a vibration. And it has high vibration, low vibration. And a lot of animal products are low vibration. Now, my body is already at a very high frequency vibration. If I give it low, then I suffer. My body will begin to tell me, what are you doing to me? We're going this way and you're forcing us this way. This is the same thing. That's what I'm saying. You see now how your health becomes in connection with your spirit because it's a vibration. It's a frequency. This body is an electromagnetic field. And every electromagnetic field has a frequency, has a vibration. And you have to align yourself with the frequency and vibration that is aligned with your internal aspect. And your internal aspect is what? Your spirit. So if your spirit is vibrating at a very high frequency and then you give it low vibration, what will happen? Sickness.
Can it also spanner in the works? Can it also be vice versa? There are people who are trying, let's say, to be vegan or vegetarian, but what their bodies need is meat and sugar and milk and all those things.
It can be, because again, vibration. Remember, it's a law. It's a law of nature.
Resonance.
In resonance, you align yourself like and like. If you give it, then there's conflict. So you will suffer as a result. It's always about aligning yourself with the right frequency. That's your internal frequency. That's it.
That's fair because
Yes.
I usually am against the discussions about it's debatable, but I don't like going into the rabbit hole of people who eat meat are bad people. Who are vegan, righteous
But
people.
unfortunately, you see the vibration of like animal products. And the reason why people have that negative connotation, it is because of the environment that you get this animal, this meat. It is the environment this meat is presented to you. If you look at how that meat is prepared from when it actually is an animal to when it ends up on your plate, it's horrific. What those animals have to go through. And remember, that's a vibration. So they're mutilated. There's no love in it. Like it's mutilation. So when this animal is being killed against its will and it's screaming, that's the vibration that ends up being in that meat. So when you're eating it, that frequency is what is vibrating in that meat. So what will happen to you as a body? You can't change that vibration. It's the frequency that it is because the animal, that's what it emitted before it was killed. And remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. How are you going to transform when that's the energy it's carrying?
Okay. That's clear.
Yeah.
I'm thinking again now of people in hospitals who, like I was saying, my friend who's gone through kidney transplants, kidney failure and everything. Is that something that can, I don't know, be undone? You know what I mean? Like, now she's listening to her body and then maybe the body's going to just say anything that comes to mind about that.
So
people
I'll
in
tell
hospitals.
you, again, every sickness, every disease in our body is a call for you to be in tune with yourself and come from a place of love. Speaking to your organs, emitting love energy into them. There are people who've healed their organs, who are given like, no return, you're finished, these organs are done. But just because of now, again, remember, it goes back to energy, how you're aligned with yourself. Some of these things we take for granted. Like, I'll give you this guy who had an issue with his kidneys, just like you mentioned, and mentioned to a friend. And this guy is, I don't know if you've heard of Michael.
Beckwith.
So not Michael Pepe, Agape.
I know him.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael.
Yes.
He looks like Jesus.
Yes.
A white Jesus.
So it was a member of their congregation. And every day when they went in the morning, because they have devotion, they have meditation, and would mention this guy from their congregation having issues with his kidney. And what they began, he said, what we'll begin to do is all of us will make it a mission that every single time you go to the toilet, thank your kidneys. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for me. I neglect you. I take you for granted. I realize all the work you do for me. every single time they went to the toilet. And the other guy was supposed to do the same. And in a month, his kidneys were back to function.
Oh, wow.
Just because they aligned themselves to this guy. And of course, they were a unit. And remember, when we are in the same frequency and the guy just appreciating your organ. Because that's what I'm telling you. Your body communicates to you. When you neglect an aspect of your body, it will get you to pay attention because you cannot run without me. You need me. My inner GPS is what you need to be able to function externally. So if you're not listening to me and you're paying attention to everything else, running, you need to make money, you need to do ABCD, all you're thinking about is out there, yet it's me, you need to take you there. I will get you to work with me because it's me you need, not all these other things.
Yeah. You know, I remember there's a spiritual practice I have where when we finish the meditation, we tap to spread the energies all over our body and we actually thank our like kidneys, our body parts. And there's this one time I did it just the other day. I was like, thank you, kidneys, because you tapped the kidneys. And I felt something. And I was like, it's like they had me.
They will hear you.
And it crossed my mind. And I've just remembered that.
Exactly. Just the same way. Your head will tell you like you have a headache. And the headache is just a sign of something not working in your body. I'm trying to get your attention to do ABCD. Same thing. Listen to your body. How many times? Your intuition will guide you. Like, I'm going, say, we're in Lavington. I'm going to Westlands. And the first thing is, can I use the back route? And then I'm like, no, why would I use the back route? Now I start second-guessing myself. No, this road. What happens?
You go and find horrible traffic or floods. Sixth sense. There are people who are not in tune with their sixth sense.
My point exactly, because we are not programmed that way from when we are born. We're taught people have answers. Call your mother, ask your mother, call your boyfriend, call your teacher, call your boss, doctor. Doctor will go and tell you, no, you're not. How does the doctor know my body? I'm an expert of my body. I appreciate he's gone to school and all that. But what he's telling me doesn't have to work for me. No, I have to know what he's telling me. Is it aligning with me? And first, that requires me to listen to myself. Does it feel right? No. You know, another example I'll give you. My daughter, I think she was like maybe 7. I think, or maybe, no. Yeah, she was around 7. And she's in school, she's playing, she falls. And then she got cut here under her chin. So I had to take her to hospital so that you could see whether it was a deep wound. So we go to hospital. And of course, the doctor checks and says, oh, infection. It's not such a deep. We don't need to do stitches. But we'll have to give her antibiotics, painkiller. My daughter looked at the doctor and said, sorry, I don't take medication.
Same girl.
I don't take medication. The doctor looks at me. He says, we have to give her. She's a child. She'll get infection. I said, did you hear what she said? She knows her body. And yes, she doesn't need the antibiotic. She doesn't need the painkiller. So please, thank you for your prescription, but we don't need it. Now you can imagine the judgment, the responsible parent, I said, don't worry. We know how to treat this because in my house, I have all these things that I can. It was Ayurvedic powder that we just went cleaned. I won't heal naturally because your body heals itself. If you allow and give your body what it needs, it heals itself. She was fine. She didn't have to.
I was thinking of Louise Hay. Last question. Yes. Louise Hay, talk about her, and because I saw that book in your home, in your house. So
you see, what does she say? And she's wrote this book a while back. I think it was in the 80s. In the 80s. And this again, seeing all the ailments people were going through. And all she did is broke down all ailments, because every ailment, I have said, is your body telling you something. And it's something that's out of tune spiritually with you. And what she began, every ailment she'll tell you. The affirmation to tell. It could be you're so worried about, oh my God, I'm worried about I don't have a job, I don't have money. That will manifest in your organ as something. Again, why are you worrying? That organ will tell you, because it will begin to create pain, discomfort, or inflammation, whatever, where you will not be able to function. Because now, see, you've allowed your body to be stressed about whatever. And remember, everything that happens is exactly what you need. Even that pain is what you need to change your lifestyle, to be the way it's supposed to be so that you can live a fulfilling life. So when that organ is not working, thank it because you've neglected it and it's allowing you to connect with it from a place of love and get it to function. So again, what she does is an affirmation to attune your frequency to a love frequency. Remember in this life, even for any disease, it's because we're either living from a place of love or a place of fear. And when we're living from a place of fear, what happens? Everything falls out of sync.
Yeah.
You begin to vibrate at a very low frequency. Everything doesn't work. It breaks into pieces. Your body doesn't begin to give you what you need, the service you need. You can't think clearly. You cannot wake yourself. You can't use your hand. You can't use whatever. So it's getting you attention to allow you to know that you're taken care of because you are taken care of. But do you believe that? But because we have this, again, because of what we've been taught, everything is out of us. Oh my God, I have scarcity. If I don't take this, then what will happen tomorrow? Why am I thinking about tomorrow? Right now, what I need, I have exactly what I need. Tomorrow is not for me. How do I know tomorrow where I'm going to be tomorrow? All I have is what is right in front of me. Be present and know where I am is where I need. And where my foot needs to land next is exactly, will be guided again by my inner GPS. Because my inner GPS is connected to the creator, our maker. Once it's in tune with our maker, because everything that tomorrow, yesterday, he has created it. And he knows where it needs to go. When I tune myself to my maker, to my creator, he directs every aspect of my life. I have zero control over it. The more I try and control and push for it to be in a certain way, the more everything doesn't work. And that causes disease in our body. Vibration frequency is out of tune of exactly what my body needs. And then I suffer the consequences. Until where I feel the farthest I can push and I can no longer push again. Then now I'm back to the maker. And you're tired. Please. Like, it's no longer working. Please help. And how is the help? These two hands that we are always pushing and pulling and pushing. Now we suddenly lift them up because we are surrender. I don't know what else to do. Okay, please show me what I need to do. And I will do. Now in that moment, you humble yourself. You realize, I have no control. You begin to listen and tune yourself to the right frequency. And everything begins to fall into place. And it starts with acceptance. I don't know. Even I don't know what is good for me. I just need to listen in this moment and know, that is not working for me. My body is telling me, okay, I shift position and I know, okay, I'm feeling much better. That's it.
Okay. Wise words. I know it. What is the book, Louise Hay's book called? Okay, we'll put it up.
Yes.
Because it slipped my mind.
Yes.
Cool. I think that's clear. The message is clear. It's very clear. I've seen, you've answered all my questions. Even for myself, there's something I've seen, especially the getting hungry thing. Yes. I had just started telling myself, I'll just start eating when I'm hungry or drink water when I'm thirsty.
Exactly.
I think that's something now you've reinforced for me. Cool. Any final words you want to say?
And unfortunately, it is forcing things because society says it looks nice. I have to try it because what do you mean? People even to a point of, you see how people force their body to break out of not function. There are people I know who've had to take a pill to eat meat because their body refused meat, but because they want to eat meat, because people say it's nice, they went to a doctor and asked for a pill to be able to manage to eat meat. Can you see how wrong we come from a space of what? Your body literally cannot stand it, but you want to force it. So what are you looking for? Now you're playing God in your own life because I can do, because I can. I have the power to. At what costs?
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yes. So when you align yourself and play your life as exactly as it opens up for you, accept it. Trust that what is there is exactly what you need. Learn to listen. And for those who are parents, please let your children guide you. They don't know everything, but they are experts in their own bodies. Please don't force them. Wear a sweater, eat food. They don't have to eat. If they tell you they're not hungry, please trust me. They're not sick. They know when they'll feel hungry. They know the fridge. Same thing I taught my daughter. Like, I'm telling the nanny, see, she knows where the kitchen is. When she's hungry, see, she'll go and pick something to eat. Because when I look back at my son was, I had a nanny, literally, who'd wrestle arm him like this, forcing food like this. Imagine now what you teach that child, that food is a bad thing. Because it's a force. Like, we are fighting. You have to eat. And he's telling me, I just eat like, I'm not. But no, it's lunchtime. You have to eat.
But Pauline, but me, I remember I was they say that was the reason, but I used to be admitted to hospital so many times because I hated food. I just used to feel like it was a chore when I was a young kid. Yes. I just couldn't. Like, that is the consensus my parents have about me is I did not like food. I was a pain about food.
I was like you.
So in that case, I can't imagine a parent like my parents, you telling them this and they'd be like, she'll die. She has to eat.
Do you know there are people who have lived 3-4 months on water?
I'm sure I would have been okay.
On water. I
would have been fine.
So long as you're taking fluids, you're fine.
I mean, I think so.
See,
now
look at this. This is a drink. This is like food. Because this is a superfood. If all I can take is fluids, I am good. I don't need to eat. But then this, you can take a whole day and not feel the need to eat.
Now that you say it, I mean, because I loved fruits and water, they could have just given me fruits and water. Okay, I see what you mean. Yes. I see what you mean. Okay. Wait, I will send this to my parents.
Me, I was one who then forced me, and then until food is dripping, I put it in the mouth. I don't want to swallow it.
Same.
Until it's dripping here.
Same.
And then when someone looks away, I'd even throw in between the couch. I'd spit it there just so that. And then I start sleeping. I try and force myself to sleep so that they're like, hey, she sleep, let her go to bed. Nothing. They'd sit there like a watchman. I'm like,
yeah, you're right. Because I had a really bad relationship with food. So now I hope parents listen.
Yes.
Skizeni, by the way.
Yes.
Just
imagine.
Try and see if it works.
I think it's just because, remember, I've told you, for me, my journey, it began with unlearning. First unlearn. A lot of the things we've been taught was someone who dictated so that they had control over us as human beings. But nobody has control on you, on your system. This machine you carry, you're the expert. And only you know what's right for you. So what I will urge you, the start, because we'll have a follow-up session to continue on steps to actually live well for your mind, body, and soul, is begin to listen. And when you listen, your body will direct you and exactly what it is that you need to do. Because the answers are within. They're never without. Without was someone's prescription. And we've tried to climb the ladder and we realize when we get up there, it was the wrong ladder. So please don't get yourself to that ladder at the top there and only realize when you're up there that it was the wrong ladder. This is the time, begin to go back, retrace your steps and just tune yourself.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is very helpful. Where can they find you for maybe questions or consultation, coaching?
You can find me on my social media handles on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, which is Coach Pauline Sophia. Now, if you'd like consultation, because I'm also a wellness coach and I do frequency therapy with a company called Price, where we focus on alternative solutions for health. And that's give you products that allow your body to heal itself in exactly where it is. That's vibrate in the right frequency. Because again, a lot of the things we're taking are removing us from the frequency that allow us to function in our optimal. So everything we do is to allow us to be in the right frequency. So our solutions are based on the frequency therapy, which we allow you again to vibrate. So you can in terms of my number, you can reach me on 722-72-1042. That is 0722-1042. If you want to have frequency therapy, you want to help yourself with frequency products that can allow your body to be in tune where it allows your body to be in the same resonance as the right resonance. Give your body what is good for it so that your body can give you back what it's supposed to give you in terms of serving your purpose.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pauline, for... What is this? What's this?
This is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll,
Naka
again,
chai.
is a superfood. It's equivalent to like just 10 ml. This is 10 ml with like 300 ml of water. Just taking that is equivalent to taking to a kilo of vegetables every day.
Do I need a kilo of vegetables every day?
It gives you mental stamina. You see, again, the one thing I also didn't talk about is diet.
Okay, we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, so because that's most important, diet, to allow, again, for your body to begin not to send signals is your diet. And again, a lot of the theories we've been told have harmed our bodies. So it's, again, unlearning to give your body what it needs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do that next time. So for now, if you have stayed with us, thank you. Please subscribe, ask your questions in the comment section below, or reach out to her. Her information will be in the description below. And I hope and I wish you all the holistic wellness that you can gather for yourself. I wish you well, and until next time, kwaherini.
Bye.